All right, so I found this cursed video that I think we should check out.
Oh my God, are you serious?
You know it's probably not real.
You say that all the freaking time.
When I say that.
About just about everything that we have to go to.
Whatever.
I know I'm gonna regret
let's
this.
just watch it.
Whatever, put it on. I'll regret it later. Okay, so that was a little freaking weird.
It wasn't that bad.
Bro, that was like one of the weirdest things I've ever watched.
I mean, it didn't make no sense.
Yeah, that's the least of it being weird, but whatever. I'm just saying.
You see, ain't nothing happening.
Oh, yeah, that's what they all say.
Unknown caller.
I hate you right now.
Hello? Yes. Uh-huh. Okay.
Maybe it's just one of the girls.
Yeah, so you know that cursed video I just made you watch?
You better be telling me, that's just one of the girls, just kidding.
So apparently we have 7 days to find all the filming locations.
For what?
The Ring.
Oh my God.
Or we die.
That's great. It's not cursed. I swear, it's not real. You know what this means, right? You're gonna join us on this adventure.
In 2002, The Ring exploded into the horror scene. This is one of the highest grossing horror movies ever to be made. The story follows Naomi Watts' main character, Rachel, who is a reporter. She kind of gets brought into this terrorizing videotape fiasco thanks to her niece, Katie. Now, the tape is a cursed tape, and it stars a little girl named Samara. And you quickly find out Samara is one that F around and find out with. Because if you watch the tape, she's gonna deal with you. For our opening shot of the movie, we find ourselves at the first filming location here in Los Angeles, California. This is Katie's house, and for some reason, she knows that she's reached the end of her 7 days, but yet she decides to invite this innocent friend to stay the night with her. I don't know her thought process behind that, because like, what is she thinking? If I get this innocent friend, like it's gonna save me from dying? Or maybe if I die, I can take her with me? Selfish of you, Katie. Anyway, the friend is like, brings up this cursed videotape about how if you watch it, you get the phone call, 7 days later, you die. Katie admits that her boyfriend and a couple of other people had went to a cabin or hotel, whatever you want to say, and watched the videotape. So here, in this particular location, we get our first kill.
All right, so here's the front of Katie's house. The shot is taken from an angle, but the only difference is the bushes are gone or taken down from the size of the door, and then this bay window, it was white with like brick-looking color in the middle, and now it's been painted all white. So that's your only shot of the house.
For the next shot, we are in Seattle, Washington, standing in front of what is currently a Harbor Steps apartment building.
Now, in the movie, this is where Rachel and Aiden live. And the first shot you get of this apartment building is the night after Rachel is tucking Aiden into bed, and Aiden is just being real creepy, and he's like, we don't have enough time, and she's like, I'm sorry I work so much, and he's like, no, we don't have enough time before we die. And she's like, you never know when you're gonna die. And he said, Katie did. And then Rachel gets real creeped out and leaves the room, and then the next morning is when you get the shot of the apartment before they get ready to go to Katie's funeral.
In the shot, you can clearly see this grayish stone wash side of the building. You can also see these balconies and these windows right here in the shot.
So aside from this being a creepy movie where it already has one child that's creepy and climbs out of a well to kill you, to me, Aiden is just as creepy. Like, what's up with that kid?
So for this next shot, we're here at the corner of 5th Avenue and Virginia Street. And this is the shot where she has just found the next day premium photo processing ticket in Katie's room, because she's been in there looking for clues. So she's going to take it to that store, get the film developed, and while looking through it, that's when she sees the pictures, and she sees she finds the pictures of the 4 teenagers, faces blurred after they've watched the movie. So this is the shot of her coming out of the store with the new photos. So in order to get this shot, what the filming crew did, there used to be a building right here. You can see it's down. So this building had glass windows in it like this. And in the shot, they kind of pointed up at the building, and you can see it's a lot better shot in the building that used to be here, but you can see this round building in the reflection. And also in the reflection, you can see the train tracks that's behind me. So what they would have done was shot in the reflection to get this building and the train track as a train's going by. And then they pan down, and whenever the camera gets right about here, that's when you can tell they've been shooting through a reflection of the building. But we see Rachel come out holding the developed film. The camera pans and turns, and you can see the Avis sign in the distance. Now the thing, it is now an Avis and budget sign with a monthly parking. This would have been all one big blue sign that just said Avis. Also on the end of the building that's been torn down, you can see a little canopy. Obviously the canopy is not there. It must have been attached to the building that was torn down because it's gone. But this is the shot through the reflection that the camera would have gotten. They would have been shooting through the reflection to get this building and the train tracks as a train is going by, because as they pan down to the Avis, you can see the train a little further down in the distance as they're shooting towards the Avis building. And then it turns and it pans to kind of over her shoulder, kind of like this, to where you can see a little bit of her face. You can see a little bit of like the track in the background like this, but she's looking down, you know, it's shooting her, then it's shooting down at the pictures, then back to her, and then the pictures, and then back to her. You get the point.
I think it's funny because if you really pay attention to the little photo ticket that she finds, the current location for the photo booth is 1923 Fifth Avenue, but if you look at the ticket, it says 1925 Fifth Avenue, Seattle, Washington. So it literally is taking you to the exact spot. There is no, like, faking you out.
For our next location, we are in Bellingham, Washington. Now, in the movie, this would have been known as Shelter Mountain Inn, But currently, this is Camp Firwood. So really for this shot, which we can't necessarily go down there because it is private property, this is a Christian summer camp. And they do have private property signs up, so we're not going to walk down there. But really for this location, you only get a shot of her driving down the road because you never get an exterior of the inn other than cabin 12. So once she kind of makes her way down this drive, you go to an interior shot, which was not done here. It was done somewhere else. But this is where she is brought after looking at the pictures of Katie and sees Katie standing in front of a sign that reads the hotel name. So she goes to the receptionist. She asks, hey, do you think you can recognize these people that were here a week ago? And he looks at the picture and he says, yeah, you know, they didn't pay me. And they complained about the TV all night because the reception doesn't pick up good here. That's why they have videotapes for the customers to get. Looks over and sees one videotape that is not in a sleeve and is just sitting there ominously in the middle of the shelf. So that's when she picks up the tape, sticks it in her purse, and she rents cabin 12 to further her investigation.
So for our next location, we were trying to get to the cabin. You know, the cabin is at the end of the movie. Rachel is there, and they find the body, right, in the floorboard. So this cabin still is still standing. It's out in a field up in the woods a little bit. And you got to walk through the field. Anyway, so we're trying to find a way to get into this field because parts of it does have a fence and the other parts don't. Anyway, so we go down this road, right? Now, on the map, it's a road and a driveway. So you turn in and the driveway circles around. But then there's a road to the left that keeps going. So we're like, all right, we're going to go down this road. And then we'll get out, we'll walk over to it and get our shot. Well, we get past the house and we're starting to go down the hill and we hear this woman screaming at us. I mean, hey, stop, you can't do that, stop. So we stopped, got the sunroof open on the truck. Back it up, you back it up right now. So it's already kind of rocky, so I'm trying to put it in neutral, get the 4-wheel drive in because I don't want to gas on it in 2-wheel drive and sling rocks all over my truck or all over the road. So while I'm going to do that, she's still yelling. Finally, we back it up, right? We back it up. And she now is like her husband's out there, some other woman, and they're all like, what are you doing? This is private, what are you doing? And, you know, I'm like, okay, keep calm. Like, we're looking for a spot. Like, we're looking for a cabin. Like, this is where Google Maps took us. She's like, for the ring? And I was like, what? She's like, for the ring? And I was like, yeah, for the movie The Ring. That's on his property and pointing over there. Like, and it's private. You can't go over there. And now, nobody lives in this field, okay? It's just a field, right? And we know of plenty of people that have written that they've went to this cabin, didn't have no problems. They got their shots, they got their pictures, and they left without anything, right? So we leave. And as we're pulling back out onto 212th Street Northwest, headed towards 50th Avenue, lo and behold, there's a state trooper sitting right there on the corner of these two roads, right? Somebody, I guess because we've been up and down this little road trying to find a way in there, or her husband, or the other woman that was there, must have called the freaking cops. Because it's just, we've been up and down this road a few times trying to find a way in with no problem. Now all of a sudden, she's yelling at us and telling us private property and this and that and can't be here. You know, very rude. You know, just tell somebody. You ain't got to be a freaking butthole. So for this next shot, we're here at Fort Worden in Port Townsend, Washington. This is like literally right on the edge of water, okay? So in this shot, we're watching the bad movie in The Ring, the cursed movie, right? And we see this woman standing underneath this tree. This woman is Anna Morgan. She is the mother to Samara, the evil little girl that comes out, or woman that comes out the TV and tries to kill everybody after 7 days. You know what I'm out. Anyway, so this is the shot. She's under the tree right before she takes a swan dive off the cliff. So here's a shot of the tree from like the back side. Not exactly where you would picture it from the movie, because I know the movie shows it as being on top of this cliff over the ocean, which is half right, okay? So we are next to the ocean. The only problem is there's no cliff. So if you jump off of this, you're just gonna land in a whole bunch of weeds anyway. And you're just gonna be pissed at yourself for trying to off yourself in some weeds. But I digress. So the tree, as you can see, it is missing a couple of the lower branches. Looks like they just broke off or rotted off over the years, but it still has the same form, same shape. Now what I find pretty cool, a little weird, is the fact that if we get a shot from over here, I get my camera person to walk with me, and we pan down. So you see right here, this like stick. It's almost like that's Anna Morgan standing underneath the tree. Because if you look at a picture of the screenshot in the movie, she's kind of under, she's a little off because there's supposed to be a cliff and there's supposed to be a gap, you know, but she's on one side and the tree's on the other. But that's roughly the same spot if you put them both together. All right, so we're gonna walk over here to where Renee is at, which would in essence be about as close to the water as what Anna is supposed to be in the movie. Now as AJ pans over, you can see not really a cliff there. It's just a path leading down to a beachy area at the water. More Hollywood magic, I guess. So here's a better shot of the tree. Now you definitely can tell from up here, it is the tree from the movie. The only difference being, I mean, you can tell this is still the same. This little one right here in the movie kind of went up and out a little bit. It's broke off. Now this one right here, it was a little shorter back then. So it is actually grown and bent down. But this is definitely the shot. You can see the water in the background just like in the movie. We're just missing Anna Morgan standing here, and we're missing more of a zoom lens or telephoto lens to be able to zoom in some. But if you were shooting with a zoom and could get a little closer, I mean, if you look at this ridge here, even though we know this is not a cliff, from here and from this angle, it looks a lot like a cliff because you can't see the waves that are crashing on the shore down here. The only thing that is missing is the trench that would have ran right through here in the scene to make it look like it was a giant cliff. So for this next shot, we're still here in Seattle, and I'm on Stewart Street. But if you notice behind me, you see the tracks. You see this building? Then you know what shot I'm about to show you. Here, 1901 Westlake Avenue, close to the corner of Westlake Avenue and Stewart Street. So for this next shot, we're gonna see Renee do what Aiden does in the picture. He's on his way to school. He rounds the corner. It's raining. It's kind of dark. He's gonna get right about to where this grate is and stop. And he looks up and sees Noah looking back down at him. And in the shot, the camera clips around to right about here, because you can see the grate, you have Aiden and you have Noah. They don't say anything to each other. They just kind of stare at each other for a second and then go on about their business. So for this next scene, we are here at the University of Southern California in Los Angeles.
So yeah, unfortunately the particular building used in the movie, which is called Mudd Hall and it houses the library used for the scene, is closed for private events. That started yesterday and runs all the way through tomorrow. So we were unable to get up there to get the shot from the movie, but in this particular scene, after Rachel prints some images out from the videotape, it leads her to this library to where she discovers the location of the lighthouse that you can see from the video, which leads her to the island. For our next stop, we are at Deception Pass Bridge here in Washington. So this is a shot that you get, kind of like an aerial shot of the bridge, and this is right after Rachel and Noah are discussing that they need to find out more about Anna Morgan's past. And Rachel is concerned she only has so many days left before her expiration of the 7 days is up, so she tells Noah, I need you to go to the hospital and find out what you can about Anna Morgan, and I am going to go to the island.
So here's a shot of the bridge. You got Deception Pass Bridge, and then there's a smaller bridge right here. Now the shot would have taken from the other side around the corner, looking this way through the bridge, and we know that because when the shot goes past the bridge, you can see this island right here in the shot, looking through the bridge in this direction. So as the shot comes this way, it comes up and on top of the bridge to where we see Rachel and Noah going in this direction. So just a short drive from where we were at, from the picture of Anna Morgan and the tree and the cliff, here at the ferry terminal in Port Townsend. And this shot right over here is where the ferry picks up the cars, and this is the shot where Noah has dropped Rachel off at the ferry to go to the island to find out more on the history of Anna Morgan. So it's a little nighttime port shot for you.
So from what I was reading, they actually shot here at the terminal for 5 days. And during those 5 days, they kind of had like some freakish weather for up here. It was actually sunny, and they were like, we don't want that because the whole movie is supposed to be like dark and rainy. So what they did was like put some things in that actually blocked the sunlight and put sprinklers and everything down here so it would look more like that dark, misty setting that they were trying to go for in the film.
Right over there is where the ferry normally sits. And in the shot, you can actually see this crane-looking thing. The cars are driving through it onto the ferry. Our stop here has taken us to the Yaquina Head Lighthouse in Oregon. You can see it behind me. This is the tallest lighthouse in the state of Oregon. Now, the reason I'm walking backwards is because it is extremely windy up here. Not only that, the wind's making it really freaking cold. So we're here because this lighthouse was used in the movie, and we first get a shot of this lighthouse when she is at the library. We're about an hour into the film. She's gone through the movie because, you know, she only got 7 days to live. She's trying to slow the film down, see what's in the film. And she sees this lighthouse. She's printed off a picture. She's gone to the library. She's looking through. She finds the book and she sees the lighthouse in the book. Now, in the book, it's called Moskowa Island.
the book that she's looking. That's the name they used for this in the movie. So the next shot after she sees it in the book, she's like, I gotta go find this lighthouse. So we get an aerial shot coming over the water, and it actually comes up the mountain. It goes over the lighthouse, and then it goes up this road right here. Now in the movie, they would make you believe that this road, because you see her car, is right next to the ranch. That ain't the case. The ranch is actually in Washington State. But that's what Hollywood wants you to believe, is the road going to the lighthouse is close to this ranch. So here's a shot of the Yaquina Head Lighthouse, or as the Ring would have you call it, Moiscoa Island. There's another angle. Now, unfortunately, the inside of this lighthouse is not accessible, which kind of sucks, because I would have loved to have gotten up there and got an inside view. Area beyond this fence is closed. It's a nice scenic shot. Even on a cloudy day, it's very beautiful up here. It's even got a nice plaque out here. It says, "To those lost at sea with special affection for the fishermen of the Pacific Northwest." So for this scene, we're in Dungeness Landing County Park in Sequim, Washington. It's a nice little, just guessing a giant lake, or maybe it connects to Pacific Ocean. You can smell the salt water, but it's a boat landing where you can come down and launch your boat or your kayak. It's even got a little walkway in front of me, so it's a nice little area to be a county park. In this shot, we have Rachel on the island. She would have been more over here with the camera looking back, because she's in the shot right about here with this in the background. Now, in the movie, there's a building on top of this pier that would have sat between these two fingers, somewhere right in there. But you can see these rails in the shot and these rails, even though the building's gone. Emerald Glen Farm, 23128. Same address as what's in the movie. So if you'd like to come here and take your tour of the farm from the Ring, definitely reach out and schedule it. Don't just show up and, you know, trespass and try to do it the wrong way. These guys don't mind giving a tour and will tell you everything that was and where it was at film.
I've been living here with my brother for about 7 years. It's nice. A family friend who owns the place, and so yeah, we kind of got in. I was in Seattle before, and just going to be here for like a couple years, and it's been 7 years now. So
that's usually how it works out.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool because we do keep it. I mean, we keep it like we're the only ones that lived here that have actually like owned up to the movie being filmed here. Typically, this house is used as like the caretaker's house that takes care of the farm. But yeah, we kind of got in. But we have a huge Halloween party. We really own the fact that the movie was filmed here, and we try to be a little bit nicer about it than some of the other people. But
right,
yeah. So yeah, it hasn't been painted since the movie. You can see it looks pretty spooky right now. Hopefully we'll repaint it next summer, but we thought maybe they would come back. So instead of like to shoot something here,
right?
So instead of like repainting it, because when they came here, they made it look weathered and chipped it and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, this is the original paint from the movie. That piece up there is that kind of design element on top of there was put there for the movie, and they just never that's not on the other side of the house. So that's still there from the movie. It was just an A-frame. Yeah, so it's this is the shot where Naomi Watts pulls out the drawing and looks up at it. Another fun fact is that the chimney, which is currently in the center of the house right now, was moved closer so they can get the shot of the chimney with the antenna on top.
Yeah.
But when they replaced it, when they put it back, it screwed everything up inside, and the water, there was some water damage in the ceiling. But, they fixed the flashing, and it was just a big. It kind of sucked, but no, that was all for the effect. You can tell the chimney's closer to the movie. Let's see here. Oh, come around this way. The only 2 shots actually filmed in the house were when she was peeking her head in. There's like, Mr. Morgan, are you here? And like when she arrives at night.
Oh yeah.
So they had the cameras facing this way, and when they see her, when Brian Cox sees her out the first time.
Right.
That was shot in there. But other than like, they didn't flood the bathroom upstairs or do all that kind of stuff. This side of the house I don't think was photographed in the film, but the other side is like the actual window where you see him in the tape. The deck was built for the movie, was rebuilt for the movie because they had a helicopter shot. I mean, it was actually stained, and now it actually looks old, really old now. It's been 21 years, I think, since they filmed. Sorry, sad fire pit. That's the window that Brian Cox stands in, and it's in the tape.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the actual.
Right there.
Same shutters. They actually, there was a TV show, 1984, that was filmed here called Hot Pursuit. And in the movie, there's a deck, like a porch out front that's elevated, but which was built actually for that television show. It was never meant to last. So after they filmed the first movie, it rotted out, and they removed it. When they came back to film The Ring 2, they were pretty disappointed because
it was.
I guess we hadn't told them. They didn't tell them at the time that they had removed the porch.
Right.
So they had to rebuild the facade of a house on a soundstage for the second one. But the first one's the best one. It is cool that they were here for the second one, but it was way shorter. Like for the first movie, they were here for 3 months. 1 month to prep, to build stuff and make it look spooky, and then 2 months to shoot. And it was in October, November, December. They wrapped just before Christmas. It was a really wet winter too. Yeah, so the porch would have been right there. Again, it was always meant to be temporary, even though it was here for the movie. It was never meant to last, but we're like, where's the porch? No, it did rot out. It was really bad. It looked great in the movie because it was spooky. There's a shot of Naomi Watts like walking down before she meets Brian Cox or Richard Morgan in the movie. Anyway, so there would be a shot right here. They had the cameras where Naomi Watts is walking this way as she approaches Richard Morgan. He'd be nailing on one of those fence posts over there. And then if you remember in the tape, there was like a 3-legged goat limping.
Yeah.
It's in one of these stalls. That was a local goat. They just said, hey, we find some deformed animal and make it look artsy. And they're like, yeah, I got a 3-legged goat. So
yeah, we'll run with that.
Sourced a couple houses down or something.
We want to use your 3-legged goat for a movie. We'll give you $500.
Yeah. Yeah, they had painted this whole, so all the green trim was painted over like white in the actual shot, and then they repainted it back after. Yeah, so Brian Cox would have been over here, literally nailing into a fence post with no nail. Like if you look closely, it's either already in the wood, or he's literally just hitting it.
Well, yeah, you don't want him to hit his finger and you know, cause a delay in production and.
Yeah, so Naomi Watts would have came the way we just walked. That's Mr. Kitty over there, by the way. He's gonna follow us.
He's being Naomi Watts, right?
Yeah, he was a stray. He just showed up right during COVID, and so he like never left. So yeah, the camera would have been like coming around this, because you see the track in the corner of the shot, and they covered this road when they were filming, and then Richard Morgan or Brian Cox, the actor, would have been right there, just nailing. We all know about the horses. I mean, it was an active horse farm. It still is. Just 25 horses on the property right now. But they moved all the horses when they filmed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like there's the arena. They took a bunch of shots that they never used in the movie here also. Like if you look at the deleted scenes of The Ring, you'll see like shots of inside the arena, more kind of artsy. I think they're for the tape. There were like other kind of shots like that they just didn't use, but they shot a lot more here than what they did in the movie. And they did film a lot here anyway. They were here 3 months. You guys can go in. So Brian Cox would have came in here. This is where he like puts all his tack. And then so the reason why it's open right here and not covered is when they were filming, they wanted to let in natural light. The owner just left it the way it is. It used to just all be covered like this, but yeah, that's something from the movie that I guess they just never put back. But yeah, the reason why it's open is because they want to let in natural light, and it's still like that. So he would have came this way. Naomi Watts is following him, and then he would have put all his tack right here, and then we go into the house. But he wasn't really shot in the house. Yeah, he would have put his tack right there. This trespass will die in 7 days is kind of funny. They gifted that to the owner after the second movie was filmed. Because she was like, I got so many trespassers after the first one, can you make me a spooky sign? And yeah.
People yeah, we can do it.
About the movie sometimes are like looking at that like we're just some weird people.
Like, that's pretty maybe I don't want to come get this shot. I think I'll go back across the bridge.
Yeah. So, should be unlocked. Go on in, follow you. It's open. They didn't shoot in this room. This would have been probably used as like office space.
Oh yeah.
It's built 25. There's an old picture of the farm from a hot air balloon in like I think 50s or something. But yeah, it's been here a while. All right, so kind of watch your step in here. There's a platform right here. That is the loft up there that was built for the movie, and it is still here. The wallpaper is still up there. I mean, it's built into the frame, so it's pretty sturdy, but I still don't recommend people going up there. We don't want to get sued.
Right.
If someone falls.
So the tree, is it still up
So
there?
the tree, it's stenciled behind it. You can barely see it because it's been against the back of the barn. There's been some rain damage, but when in the movie when they were tearing the wallpaper off, that was done on a soundstage. That was not done here. Everything else before that was, and they go up there, like they had the ladder right here, the big 25-foot red one. They had. See here, they had like a scaffolding behind the barn. The back part of that loft is modular. It comes out because they put the cameras in from the back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, to shoot this way. This piece of wood that goes across with the rope right there, that's all from the movie. When they had the wide shot from this way, looking this way, as they're kind of Naomi Watts and Martin Henderson are up there kind of hanging out. There's a teacup up there still from her set. There was like it was a little bedroom, so she had a tea set in there. The only remaining little piece up there is a little teacup that's on the wainscoting. All the movie tapes up there, you'll see like ladder, everything's labeled. TV, and it's like blue electric tape. So, but yeah, it was meant to be removed after they shot here, but just keep it up there, I guess. It looks cool. Like, they're like, so, yeah, it's pretty cool. A shovel, and then he would have came in here. There would have been a fake light switch right to your left right there where he goes like this and it turns on the light in the loft. Yeah, there's no actual power running up there anymore. There are still like cords that would have fed into like the TV, like, RCA stuff up there. They're left there. Yeah, they're coming through the walls. But yeah, you can kind of see the wallpaper on the back with the little horses. That side's kind of coming off because, again, it's been water damaged.
Oh, yeah, I see it pulled down right there.
I mean, they aged it when they filmed it, so like it made it to look old, but now it just looks old in general.
It finished aging itself.
Yeah. Yeah, they pushed those two windows when they built this thing. They pushed the windows out about a foot, just to have it fit right there. And from the back, you can see where the windows used to be. They were in closer. But, yeah. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Well, yeah, they were here for all the production crew was across the street. There were like 300 people here. The helicopter pissed off a lot of neighbors before there were drones. They did all the aerial shots with the helicopter,
right?
And yeah, I mean they were doing that like early hours and late hours too. Actually, they got so low to the barn that the propellers were blowing the shingles off the barn a couple times. So they,
I got another thing you guys are gonna have to fix before you leave.
you know, the light on. 1 second.
Yeah, I think the cat was in there too.
Oh, was he on there?
Yeah, he was over by one of the hay bales. Oh, here he comes.
He does not like being locked in places.
He's like, you ain't doing that again, buddy.
He just wants to be everywhere where I am. I will show you guys inside the house now. You guys want to see we have like a ring. Looks like some props.
Nice.
Again, they didn't shoot inside the house. The agreement was to only shoot exteriors of the property. Actually, they were supposed to just literally film in this area in the barn, but when they came here to do their production, they were spread out everywhere, like filming over there, like just not part of the agreement originally.
Yeah.
And they rutted up. There was some damage. They poked holes out of the stained glass in the barn to run cords. So the owner wasn't very thrilled with what happened, you know, with how they left it. But she let him come back to the second one. So go inside. Your shoes are totally fine. Don't worry about taking them off. Farmhouse. Keeps the door open. So it's almost, the blueprint's almost similar to, so she would have came through here. This would have been a tack room, where Richard Morgan's in here talking to her about the tape, and he has like a tape hook. This is the same wallpaper I had shipped up from the warehouse 2 years ago that would have been in this room in the movie.
Nice.
And the guy who, I was trying to find it because I was like, who could I reach out to find this? So I went and looked at the credits and found the designer, one of the designer assistants or something, and now owns the company 20 years later. And it's like, I remember that exact role. So they shipped it up here and we had it lasered on and everything. So it's a cool little fun fact. This is a replica of the mirror. It's not the mirror. It would have been in this area of the house. In the movie, there wouldn't be these French doors. But I tried to find one that looked exactly like it. The real one's owned by a guy in Texas that I've been trying to get in contact with for probably 10 years now. And
wow.
His blog is like no longer active, and he had pictures. He had both of them. There were two made for the movie. And they got it at an auction after they filmed. So I was like, dang, I wish I had it. But that one looks literally the exact same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been saying, if you didn't know, I mean...
Yeah. You'd probably like sell it and be like, it is the real one.
I swear it's the real one.
These are the actual transparency X-ray, the things that she burned into. They were made using her mind. And
these are the actual ones?
Yeah, when they were... The doctor's like, how'd you make these pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the certificate of authenticity from the UK. Yeah, those are them. It just came to me in like a folder, and so I had them floated and framed. And but yeah, that was a pretty cool grab.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
But here's that. A lot of the stuff under you were just kind of just random stuff. Press kits. 20th anniversary vinyl. It just came out last October. That TV was left here from the production. I think it was just a monitor that they were using to do replays on. But yeah, no, it's got some promotional pieces right there. This was in the movie, but you never see it on screen. It's probably was in the house somewhere, but it's like a plaque commemorating the lighthouse and Moisco Island, and even though they spelled the Puget Sound wrong, which is Puget Sound is the area here we live in. It's like the Puget Sound on there. But yeah, it's another kind of cool little piece. Again, I don't know where it was used in the movie, but I got it on an auction site. So it was used somewhere.
That's sweet.
We just had a newspaper article about a month ago. They wrote about the film and the other stuff that was filmed in the city and around other movies. Yeah, just a little picture of the farm. Oh yeah, so this would have been a shot, one of the other shots as she's being seed out by Brian Cox would have been shot right here. He basically just walks over here, opens the door, and he's like, I don't have a daughter. She's like, excuse me? And he spells the whole, what is it about reporters, spread it like sickness.
Yeah.
What is it you think you know, then leave it alone. that would have been all shot like right here.
And me telling you I don't have a daughter is a nice way of saying get out of my house.
Yeah.
Time for you to leave.
Yeah, they had they had like a fake staircase right here for the reverse shot. The stairs are actually on the other side. Yeah, they, I guess the shot of Naomi Watts walking up to the house, they did like 200 times or something. She literally like made her own path from her walking so many times. Like, yeah. This tree was not as big. It was about half the size, and they uprooted it for the camera shots right here. So they uprooted it, and then they put it back after. Same with that shrub or something.
I want that bush to move, get it out of the shot.
They removed that one, and then removed that, and then they put them back after. The bridge. It's the like not to code, but it's an old bridge. There's 2 big I-beams underneath it, so it's sturdy.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna say I've had to cross one that looked way worse shape than this. This actually looks in really good shape.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. I think the last time they redid the timber on it was like in the 80s, but oh no, actually they reinforced it before the movie somehow. Yeah. Grover Binsky would be fishing off of here. Opening shot, arrives, installed.
this is the shot of her coming onto the farm.
Not a whole lot has really changed, other than just some of the exterior, something with the house, like the porch. But other than that, it's like the same.
So, unfortunately, we had 7 days to find all the shots. We technically found all of the locations. Now, it's not our fault that we couldn't get to them. It's not our fault they decided to have a 2-day thing in the library. We found it, though. And it's not our fault that we couldn't get to the cabin because cops got called and some lady wants to stick her nose where it don't belong, but I digress. So,
We found it.
we found it. So that means the people that stopped us, Samara is now going to go after them for not allowing us to film in those locations. So either way, we're safe. Whew. Okay. So, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll catch you down the road at the next exit.
Keep it spooky.
Later.